In this year, 2014, we have changed the groundwork launch proof to being much more advanced. And from a lot of sides I was asked if I could tell what it should be. So we decided to make some films about it, that you can just see it. These things were changed over the last years because people were helping me developing the launching and the groundwork. And especially Christofer, that you will see in the coming film, is one of the persons who have done a lot of work to develop the groundwork launching. I think one of the most important keys to it was that we got the outside aid on the launching. So in the basic launching, you are working only from the inside aid. You use the whip as an inside leg, as an inside rein, you use the hand, okay. But that we could take the whip over and take the shoulder in and the hind quarter in, getting the horse in between the aid, up in the front of the educator's body, that the horse have a forward go, but not passing the hand. Then it's in a frame. And if the horse is in a frame, you can give it a complete education on the launch. So the launch has become a complete tool. We don't want to see in a proof that you already do the piaffe and so on. That's not what it's about. It's showing you as a handcraft. So if you're a good handcraft, you can communicate with the horse. You know what an inside leg and outside leg is, and the horse understands you. The same is to the groundwork. So in the groundwork we are preparing all these things. The difference between groundwork and launching is, in the groundwork you will ask the horse to go in your speed. On the launch you will have more tendency to work more forward, that we will get more into the natural gaits of the horse, and the horse shall find some kind of balance. And the important thing is that you develop the eye, that you can see what you are doing. So these films will continue over the next time, asking other people to show their groundwork launching as a test is looking, and I'll comment on it. Even here with Christofer, who have been one of the people developing it, I'll put little comments on it. So for example, in the halt, he can do much more than just a halt, so he show even the school halt. That is not what is required for the test. In the test is just showing that the horse understands the hand and take its weight a little back and bend in all joints of the hind quarter. That is what is required. But of course it's not a shame if you can more than necessary. So let's have a look to what Christofer is showing us. First he forgets the greeting, but after the greeting we start with the shoulder in, forward down, and then a halt. Taking a little quarter in halt, moving the shoulder out and releasing the outside shoulder in the forward down. Therefore we have this tiny little shoulder in to see the searching for the hand, that when you are in movement, the outside shoulder would have had that freedom into a forward. Over in the new standing and bending, replace the feet, that in ideal cases the inside hind foot and the outside front foot would be a little forward or straight to all four, then the little halt towards moving the shoulder a little into a quarter in. Now he takes the wrong front leg, correct him. And in this case we even get the school halt, which is of course not required, and the shoulder in forward down, that you could go directly out of it into a shoulder in forward down. Then we'll go to the diagonal. On the diagonal, sending the inside hind foot forward, first to the right, change over, and then to the left. On the short wall, collecting, getting in from the forward walk into a collecting walk. And forward again, and the forward down on the diagonal, first to the left, and then switching over and to the right, the forward down. Again, having a collection, and again, after the collection, having a forward down and then onto the long side, having a quarter in. Starting with a quarter in forward and collection, and forward again, and straighten up before the corner. We'll have a little straightening up, that goes. This time on the short wall, sending forward exactly as on the diagonal, that he is relaxing after the exercise, but also bringing the inside hind foot well forward as being the first part of what is happening in a shoulder in. Then having a shoulder in, first in forward, then into collection, and forward again with a shoulder in, and straightening up before the corner, and have the relaxation on the short wall. Long side, shoulder in, travers towards the center, start to collect the travers as preparation for the pirouette, and then the pirouette fitting to the degree of collection that you have reached. After the pirouette, a little forward again to have the hind legs well forward for a preparation for collection into the renvers. Center of the short wall, that when I'm sitting there as a judge, that I can see the hind quarter directly from the side, that I can see the joints of the hind legs, and see that when the hold is coming, that all the joints of the hind legs are reacting. In this case, Christofer even had as a school hold, which is not important, just that I see the reaction. Next long side, quarter in, first forward, then more collected, and forward again, and straightening up. Short wall, relaxing, already here in the forward, working the inside hind leg forward as being the first degree of a shoulder in, that you have prepared the horse for the long wall, first to have the shoulder in forward, then to have some collection, and forward again after the collection, and straightening up before the corner. Again, relaxing on the short wall with the forward, but also as a preparation for the shoulder in, long wall, shoulder in, travers towards the center, collecting the travers as preparation for the pirouette, and then a pirouette fitting to the size of collection, the travers back, getting a little more forward into the swung as preparation for collection into the renvers. In the middle of the short wall, new stelling and bending, that the horse after the renvers was in a left stelling, now it's taking over to a right, and then we'll have a halt. Then going directly onto a circle, bringing the inside hind foot forward, taking more distance to the horse, deciding what size the circle you will work on, then walk, and the halt out of walk. It's a school halt, it's more than required, but it doesn't matter. Then again into walk, having a fluent walk, then into trot from the walk. Trot and transition from a trot into the walk. Then from the walk back into trot, and then we want a full halt out of trot without the hind quarter falling out. Yeah. So with some horses you need more quarter in, with some less, to get a good balance. And now the canter could be a little more balanced. We would have had a little more quarter in, that the right hind foot would be more perfect under the point of balance. Anyway, we get the transition, and the transition then from the canter into the trot, from the trot into the walk. Then you can decide to make the chains of lead directly from the walk, but also as here, first the stop and then the chains. But normally it's only required that you take the horse from the canter down into trot, from the trot to the walk, and then the transition. Here again we have then the work for getting the inside hind leg forward onto the circle in a walk. And when a horse has a good walk, then we'll take the walk from the walk into the halt. Then from the halt into the walk. When you take the trot, watch the outside front leg and put the inside hind foot into the rhythm of the diagonal outside front leg. Then trot, a little quarter in to get him a good balance. And then we'll have the trot into walk. Now that he stopped a little too much, but never mind, we have a transition, then we have the walk. And again, we will have a transition from walk into trot. And then we'll have a transition from trot into a full halt, and from the full halt into trot. Here we have a little better balance in the canter, while Christofer took the hind quarter a little better in, and then the transition back into trot also got more fluent, and into walk. And you can decide to take a full stop, or just going from the walk into the center line. It's okay to give the horse a goodie, and then into the center line and have the last greeting. Thank you, Christofer.